From Amunet Black to Cayden James to Morgan Edge, there are a lot of menacing villains this week and probably a hangover for Team Flash. And we're going to talk about it all right now on Super Chat. Well, hello. Welcome everyone to Super Chat on Charlotte CW. I'm your host, Just Jess, and we are here to talk about The Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl, everything that happened this week. I've got some special guests with me today. We have Bryan Brown from wordofthenerdonline.com, and we have Robert Jenkins from Home of the Fluffy, The Adventures of Fluffy the Cat. And you will see we have used Fluffy the Cat imagery on our set for a long time now. He did those, and we're going to talk about his work and what Bryan's got going on in a little bit. But man, this week, there's a lot of really cool villains, and I really enjoyed it, but I want to know what your favorite one is. So I took it to the Flash discussion group on Facebook, and the question was, what's your favorite villain? We have Amunet Black in The Flash, we have Black Siren on Arrow, Cayden James on Arrow, Morgan Edge on Supergirl. What'd you guys think? It looks like Amunet Black was winning right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sackhoff.
Yeah, Katie,
come
come on. No matter, Katie Sackhoff, man.
People love her. It was a weird seeing her with an accent. She doesn't usually have an accent, correct?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it was weird the fact that it was just a different role for her.
Yeah,
You know, like I'm so used to seeing her
Yeah.
in space and doing that stuff. And
Last
then
time she played a bad guy was in the Bionic Woman reboot. So
Yes.
yeah, it's
So
been kind of weird.
I have to admit, I've not watched Battlestar Galactica. I do know that she's in there though, and a lot of people were very excited about her. But I thought her character, she was my favorite villain of the week. Maybe it's her outfit, and I would like that outfit. Just
the outfit's nice. It's a bonus.
Cool. It was a bonus, and she was like, "What about my outfit is making you call me ma'am?" Which I thought was really funny. But she was a great villain, and finally, though, we got to see what Michael Emerson would be playing. He's on Arrow. He was in Lost, and he is creepy Cayden
Very.
James.
Very.
So he's like this tech. If you've seen Arrow, which you should have seen Arrow, if not, spoilers. He's this like a hacker guru, and he's kind of masterminding and puppeteering the team of the Arrow to kind of do his bidding without their knowing. They think they're fixing problems, and he really just pawns. So it was, really cool to see Michael Emerson. But yeah, if you want to still participate in the poll, go to my Twitter page at JustJessWCCB and tell me who you think your favorite villain is. Do these villains compare to seasons past? Do you have any favorites that stand out from before?
if anything, my favorite villain from Arrow had to have been Damien Dark.
Damien Dark's your favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, see, he was my least favorite. What
Really?
about you? Yeah.
I think so far, I'm more of a Flash guy. So Captain Cold was always
Captain
my
Cold?
favorite.
Yeah.
And found out that he's not going to be on anymore.
He's not. Well, he wrapped, so I think we'll
Yeah.
have one more showing of Wentworth
Yeah.
Miller. Maybe in the crossover event that's coming up in just a couple weeks. But I did like Captain Cold. I always like Reverse Flash. But this week on Arrow, we did get to see Michael Emerson as this creepy villain, Cayden James, and essentially he's tricked Felicity into essentially hacking into the vault of the internet. Which, is that a real thing? Like, is that? Are we like teaching hackers there's a thing out there that
I think
you
they
can...
only use it for TV shows and
good.
movies.
At least you would hope anyway.
Yeah.
One would hope. But we did see now all the roles have reversed in this season of Arrow. And this episode was called Reversal. And you see that Ollie was at the helm being Overwatch in front of the computer, which were you a little concerned seeing Oliver as Overwatch trying to dictate what to do?
I knew he was probably going to be bad at it.
Yeah, but he was okay. He was surprisingly okay.
Once he figured out right and left,
Yep.
everything was
Which
fine.
that would be
after
hard. That's like doing weather. If you're a weather person, you have to opposite. But I thought he did a good job. But I would never be like, if I have a tech problem, I'm gonna ask Oliver Queen.
Probably not.
He doesn't seem. It's not like he doesn't seem smart. He's street smart, not
Yeah.
tech smart. I guess is
If I have
what it
women
is.
troubles, I'm going to go to Oliver, but otherwise,
Yes.
no.
And speaking of women troubles, Olicity, we kind of see, well, obviously they're back together as a couple, which was very much in your face this episode. Like everyone was asking, you guys are a couple again. Every time things are kind of going easy for Oliver, he turns back to Felicity. What do you think about that? Is that fair? Is that unfair? Is this ever going to work out? Is he ever going to just be off the team for good? What do you think?
Well, you know, being that they're kind of getting away from the normal comic story.
Yeah.
I do find the on again, off again thing a little tedious.
Yeah.
Either stay together or break up altogether.
Yeah.
It's
make a
like
decision.
You said, when everything's going fine,
Yeah.
he wants to be with Felicity, and then when things go bad,
That's not
oh, you
fair.
can't be with me because my life is too complicated. And
Right.
it's just they've done it too much.
Yeah.
Like a broken record almost.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Just like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
She's finally going to say, you know what, Oliver? Tired of your games.
Yes, she's gonna. Well, like she did. She has like a couple times. Well, so my question is, do you think Oliver's ever gonna settle in this kind of just a average life? Well, I mean, he's the mayor, so he's not that average life. But without having the secret vigilante identity, is he ever gonna just take a back seat to it all? Is this gonna last? What's the expiration date on him at home with his kid?
I hope not. I mean, he's got to become the Green Arrow.
He has to.
And him having a son, I think, just complicates matters.
I think so too, but I hope it doesn't end up poorly for William, because he's like an innocent character that's already gone through a lot because of Oliver's secret identity. But I do feel like we're being set up for like this isn't gonna last.
I'm thinking there's going to be a time jump.
Yep.
A couple of years. William's in school, college, maybe sends him off to
Flash
private
forward.
school. Yeah, I sense a time jump.
Interesting. And then we have to go back and see. That would be interesting because we haven't seen too many flashbacks this season because it's only been flashing back a few months. And I've liked that better. How do you feel this season compares to the past season?
I'm liking it this season.
You're liking being out of the whole island story?
Yeah, I was over the whole 5-year ago flashback
Yeah.
a long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
I
think that's the group opinion. Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah. The wigs, though, we don't miss his wig. Like, can we get just one
the
more
fake
wig?
beard and just,
Yep.
it was just too much.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have done away with that in the first season.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons of Arrow, I think, are the strongest, and I'm always going to stand by that. But I do like this one. I do like it's kind of a totally different vibe. Diggle is heading the team as Green Arrow now, but we see that he has been doping. We've met one villain, that is Michael Emerson, but we have not met Richard Dragon yet. And I wonder if maybe Diggle getting the drugs to make him feel better, his arm feel better, has any kind of tie to Richard Dragon. Is that a possibility?
It wouldn't surprise me.
And then maybe a falling out for the team.
Yeah, and Oliver's going to have to come back.
Have to put the hood back on. Well, next week we see or not next week, it's actually tomorrow night. Whew, I'm like out of it this week. Deathstroke is the focus of this next episode, which is, that's my favorite. I love Deathstroke. So he's trying to have Oliver help him find a son, but things are not going as planned. And I talked to Mark Guggenheim also a little bit. This is really cool. And speaking of the future of Arrow, I asked him kind of what he thinks about the shows, the progression of Oliver's character, and if they see an end in sight for the show. And it's kind of hard to hear, but this is what he did say. But let's talk about the future of Arrow. So we're in season 6. We've seen big changes with Oliver's role in the team lately. Do you have an end point in mind for Oliver's tale as the Green Arrow?
I would say we know how it ends. We don't know when that end is.
Yes.
So I think a lot of that is dependent upon, Steven ratings.
So you could hear it's a little jumpy there, but he said for the future of Arrow, it kind of depends upon Stephen Amell, who plays Oliver Queen, and the ratings of the show. How much longer do you think the show has?
I'd say it could keep going for a while, to be honest. Because, Steven, he loves playing the character.
He does.
He relishes playing that character.
Yeah.
I think he'll play it as long as people want him to play it.
As long as he can do the salmon ladder.
Exactly. As long as he can still do the
If he
stunts.
stops falling off of that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 10 seasons.
Yeah.
And then
4 more years of Arrow.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I mean, they did it with Smallville, so I can see, they've set a precedent. So,
Do you think it is like a move to Friday show? Also, we have Black Lightning coming out in January, and that might compete with the vibe of the show. It's also supposed to be like kind of like the darker hero, whereas like Flash is the light hero. So I'm wondering if it's going to be two competing vibes. But anyways, like I was talking about with Deathstroke, this next episode coming up Thursday at 9 is going to be very good. Check it out, and we're going to be right back to talk about the Flash.
I need you to help me find my son.
Your boy was snooping around some not so nice guys.
Where is my son?
The situation is complicated.
Trust me on this one. Don't make this man angry.
Arrow, all new this Thursday at 9/8 Central on the CW.